Hey everyone, and welcome back to Shuffle. Final Fantasy VII has some of the most beloved and popular characters in the entire Final Fantasy franchise, so it's no surprise that Cloud and Friends have some of the strongest cards in the TCG. I myself have been playing variants of the Fire Elf build as early as Opus 4, with regional and cup top cut success around the Opus 8 and Opus 10 formats. As you can imagine, I was ecstatic to learn that the deck was getting some major upgrades with the release of the Avalanche vs Shimra 2-player starter deck, along with some key component cards from Opus 14. But truth be told, I found the Avalanche version of the deck to be entirely lacking in all aspects that have made the original Fire Elf 7 deck so strong, and cards like the new starter Cloud and Legend Barret have often caused more problems than they have solved. So here it is, the deck I believe to be the best way to play Final Fantasy VII in FFTCG in Opus 15.5. The core idea of Fire Elf 7 is shrink and grow. Play cards that chip away at your opponent's board while you grow your own. Eventually your opponent will run out of resources to deal with your forwards and you will rush into victory. Cloud, Tifa and Barret are at the core of the deck, with 4 copies of each, 3 of one and 1 of another. With Cloud, I've opted for the Opus 14 Legend as my 3 of, an absolute beast of a card who Jesse can reduce to the cost of just 3 CP. With his power buff to 10,000 power, an attack that forces your opponent to block, and an ability that makes himself completely untargetable to your opponent's abilities, he can be an absolute pain for your opponent to try and get rid of. I've chosen for this over the new starter Cloud, which I'm playing just a single copy of because of his hefty cost. If he makes it to the board without being Amaterasu'd, you can remove one of your opponent's forwards at most. And if your opponent decides not to block or break him, he can remain on your field not doing anything. I'd much rather take out an opponent's forwards every turn rather than just once. With Tifa, we have 3 of the Opus 14 Hero Tifa, which searches for a Cloud. Having haste off of a Zangan is a huge bonus to the deck, but her damage 6 ability rarely comes into use if at all. It's a great card that has rapidly sped up the deck and should never be underestimated. Alongside her is the Opus 8 starter Tifa, without a doubt the best other card named Tifa in the game. With her reduced cost when you control a Cloud, Brave and potential haste from Zangan, this Tifa has always proven to be a huge problem for my opponents. Coupled with the fantastic Final Heaven, dealing 10,000 to an opponent's dull forward, she's always one to be feared. You may ask why I've decided not to play Opus 11's Legend Tifa, and to be quite honest, I've never rated it in any version of this deck. Her buff ability tends to make your already big forwards bigger, but her cost, not allowing her to get haste from Zangan, has always stood in her way. She will only help you win more, and won't really help you get back into the game. I'm always genuinely surprised not to see more FF7 players play with the EX Barret from the Opus 11 Cloud vs Sephiroth starter. Without a doubt, this is the most overlooked card in the entire FF7 card pool, easily dealing 5 to 7,000 damage on entry and double that on EX Burst. If he's selected by the Avalanche vs Shimra Cloud to bring back to the field, he can essentially allow Cloud to remove 2 cards at once, or allow Cloud to access all 3 of his abilities, being that Barret will do the damage for him. With a sturdy 7,000 power on a body that can cost just 2 CP with Jesse, there won't be any getting off of this train. He'll be on to the end of the line. The dual element Barret has massively underperformed in my expectations, often becoming a lightning rod before he gets to do much damage. In pure Avalanche decks he can end up doing a bit more, but here you could just as easily replace him for the Opus 8 starter Barret to boost your EX count even higher. As much as I love Opus 11's Light Cloud, and a lot of Avalanche decks play Opus 15's Light Noctis, in my experience there is absolutely no substitute for Light Aerith. Light Aerith and Marlene allow you to utilise your break zone as a second hand, which, while it does leave you vulnerable to cards like Mist Dragon, is an incredible resource to have. Should you be under threat of Mist Dragon or Kadaj, change your stance and play aggressively. Playing an Aerith early or straight away in turn 1 is never a bad thing. This way your EX Marlenes will allow you to recoup and replay your board with Aerith almost straight away. Rounding off the FF7 package, we have 2 copies of Zack, Red 13 and Biggs each. Biggs is the only Avalanche forward which doesn't name clash with a better, more useful backup. Jesse of course being the backbone of the deck. He can occasionally party with dual element Tifa and dual element Barret, which will happen more often than you'd think, but seeing that his reduction will still count with your Avalanche backups, his 1 CP 7000 power stat line is still very respectable. Red 13 is another completely overlooked FF7 card which has been invaluable to a lot of this deck's wins. 4 CP for an 8000 power forward may seem slightly excessive, but his power boost, haste and first strike makes for an incredibly threatening board state, especially with other problem cards like Cloud and Aerith to contend with. Zac of course can get you back any job soldier, including itself or Cloud from the break zone, allowing you to get back into the game even more often. With an EX count so high, it would seem absolutely remiss not to play a single copy of Axstar, even if he doesn't have a Brave Exvius character to search. The deck currently runs at 27 EX bursts, making a huge risk-reward factor for your opponent wanting to deal you damage. 9 EX burst summons in Belias, Brynhilda and Titan allow for a lot of easy removal and card draw, with 3 copies of Terror to get back any from the break zone. Jekt from the brand new Final Fantasy X custom starter deck is a recent addition, dealing 5000 damage on entry, which isn't to be taken lightly. He'll also search for Light Aerith when he's put into the break zone, which will allow for even more recursion opportunities, especially after getting Shantotoed or Susanoed, which of course the deck runs one of each as well. The deck has proven to be an absolute powerhouse and an underrated pick for this regional season. Next up are 2 games of the deck being played against 2 very different decks. If you like what you see here, please like, comment and subscribe for more TCG gameplay and news right here on Shuffle.
Nice shuffle. You got some dice or? I got some dice. I've got some. I mean, that's fair. It's a good game. I enjoy it. I got into it. Check race game out. There we go from the cut. Dice. Odds or evens? Odds. Which it is even, so I'll take first place. Good luck. No. Okay. Let's do this. Good luck. Two for Zangan, sets 2 for a pass. That one. Oh, Dragoons! Something. Because I think the reason it's not is because mine. Cool. I will. Start 12. Yes. And I'll pass that. It has to be a forward. It doesn't say it, but it does have to be a forward. What? Yeah, it does have to be a forward. It doesn't say it, but that is, it's a Russell card.
Oh, that's irritating.
It doesn't say it's backups.
That's irritating.
Yep. Excuse me.
That's kind of annoying. It's such the backup.
Yeah, I know. Just 5?
Yes.
So it gains for forwards, is it?
Gains for...
No?
Your card name.
Oh, okay, but you don't even have backups. let's play Eject and Nip It in the Bud. 5k. Pass down.
Tends needs always needs.
Oh, shit.
So currently my grade is unloaded, so even though I would like to use some
So back doesn't have its ability?
it does not.
No, as in like end turn pass my turn.
Yes.
If it believes play it now has its ability.
Now, the line something like
And it's lead
least good, so the balance
Search for Cloud. Six to play. I will choose, I'll get back that and haste. Combat. We'll party with those so that they're invincible and I draw a card. You'll go. Okay, reveal 4. Oh yeah.
break eject.
In response, I'll put them in the break zone to search for a light card. Yep. So that is 1, 2, 3, 6k up. Whoop. Oh!
Ariana is 3k up.
Aranea is...
She's 3k up.
Okay. Let's see if we can dismantle this a little bit. So, because the 6 is particularly visible.
It's fun. It's going to
8k up, so that's 13 on there. Yuck.
Yeah, I just want to check something. Do you get both of those effects as you reveal 4? It's reveal 1 to gain haste, reveal 4 to break.
In addition, yeah.
Yep, so in that case, if I'm that.
Tyro.
Is that alright? Last turn.
Susanna.
No, it wasn't.
So if they go, that's not down to 4 pitches. Just 2. 9. cool. So Susano is a ball player. That's cool. My go. Combat, they'll attack for 8 and 5, which is 13, and they'll draw a card, and they can't be broken this turn. Is that okay? Draw a card.
Yeah, we'll pop that.
Ooh, we got to play something as well. Those two for red 13, who's got 1k first strike. Your turn.
Having that first, I'm surprised it took me this long.
Yeah, great. Combat again. Do that. Your first strike. Brynhilde, 5. Draw a card. Do it. Wedge, searching job avalanche operative. Barrett. Barrett plus 2. So I will. Discard Titan and Cloud Eric. Targeting Cloud and Cloud. That's okay. I'll discard this Cloud to play Barrett to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9k to your Dragoon. Your turn. Top. Is that straight away? Enter field and the top.
Unfortunate. That's it.
What we want to do is 4. We have to do a bit better than that, I think. No, I think as well. 4 for Terra. Brynhilda. Get spread 13 to deal back 5 and 2. Draw a card. And let's go combat. 1 6k.
Oh, what do we have?
1 active.
So that's any X.
Tifa. Burn. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yeah, you can search, but unless you've got something that's going to pay for a summon.
I do actually. Anything will pay for a summon.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I can't do enough. I'll break one more.
Not both of them. Oh, well, there we go.
One. I had to go on 5 points of damage to do it.
Yeah. Nice. Well done. Oh. 7-1.
Even to
Yeah. Oh, even. It's cool.
You're one terrible.
Cool.
Better.
Go for it. So obviously get back to the third page.
This one for monk.
Cool.
No,
Wow,
he's,
for Zach.
no, he's kicking me in the head in 4 turns this time.
Not this time, no. Go for it.
Tyrant?
Yeah.
Search on that. I think that'll be nice, but I'll double check.
Zangan, is that for Tifa? This turn, but I'll just do a nice shuffle first. No, we're good. Cool.
Fantastic.
After it's an action side.
Tifa. Search for clouds. So I'll search for that one.
This will dull 3 or less. I didn't see all that.
I'll play a bit safe for now. And I'll play clouds. +2. Cool, yeah.
We also need to see scale turn. I couldn't afford to. Play 4 ice battles. So 4 back ice battles.
them set up before I put you on 1 damage.
I don't.
Don't listen to Scott. And I feel like if you take a very legal discard, skill to add a bit minimum. You're like, don't like what you do. Like, no, don't like second. I think one from games. I'm feeling like games would be like, oh, like this one. 2 copies of a discard 1 card from the deck.
Lots of cards in hand there.
We're going to go to combat.
Well, put me on damage.
Well, I
think we
was
have
over
yeah,
16
combat.
I got that one, so that's when I started fun.
I don't get what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. I'm just going to take it. I don't trust it. Tyro, search for a card.
It's not what I wanted.
What did you want?
Actually, it's fine. It was fine. To be honest, I was kind of hoping you'd block the cloud.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's because you're just well obvious at that stage, aren't you?
Well, it's alright. You know, I got an alternative for the place. Secondly, 3 monk fight each other.
Yeah.
Past turn. Yeah, no, it was either I wanted you to block with the cloud so I could do that, or you let this through so we couldn't block.
I can sort of stop that.
Oh yeah. It's fine. You've been taking a nice 11 k.
That for Aerith.
Stack.
These are my targets.
That can't be right. We remove the friction from the game draw card.
Yeah, it's alright. I've got to bait them out
We
anyway.
already picked that, that's fine. So, draw.
Combat will make him block. Go for row 13 to do what? You'll go.
End your turn. Effect. Cast Fusion. Get back the match. Still my go?
It is your go, yeah.
1, 2. She's only just coming in, so I'm going to okay. Let's do 1, 3,
Yeah.
gets mapped.
Yeah.
Sophie.
Yeah.
Gains counter. Makes life easier. Did Sophie. Monk.
Yep.
Should be enough. Monk effect. 12k.
No.
It's not an auto ability, is it? Not even an auto.
It's just abilities that it turns off.
No, I mean that doing that, so the discard is the cost, isn't it?
It's a action move. Yeah.
Well, I think someone's going to die. And 2.
Doing that. That's when that's true.
Titan to deal 12k to your
Sure. What's her ability again?
I can pay 1 dollar and breaker to break a dark forward, or dull one of mine and make sure it can't be broken this time. Combat. Radiant, please.
Stack on effect.
Yes.
Cast Amatras.
Yes.
Allow the damage.
Red 13.
It's got first strike, hasn't it?
Yes.
Allow the damage.
Plus 10.
I am dead in all off for backup, so tell me. Oh.
Target.
2 cards in there.
Scott. 1 to the bottom, and 1 to the break. Choose close. Top card. So I'm gonna have to pass 10.
Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8k on your marks. Combat. We do must block. I'll go in with Eric. And red 13.
Search. Yeah, that's too big. Nice. So play something. Good one. Where do I go? What is this? I think.
Oh.
That's the
Sano, sorry, does how much to the
9k.
9k? Cool.
Susan, effects. Did Scott?
Elias on red 13.
Fine. Moved from.
back on.
To be honest though, I'm thinking of scooping because I don't think there's a way. I've got time to build up backups to be able to do enough damage. Let's see how the next chain goes, but I think it's over, so No, I there was 1 or 2 turns where I didn't see a backup for a while, and it just.
That's why I don't really mind this dragon so much. Like, yeah, get it out and like just get it gone, and then stop thinking about the breakdown. To like move forward.
For me, it was just more the fact that like if you did attack, I was like guaranteed to be to drop back.
So there we have it. As you can see, the strength of the cards really speak for themselves. It'll be a while before I consider another cloud over the absolute monster of Opus 14's legend. But let me know what you think in the comments, I'd love to know. Remember, if you like what you see here, please like, comment and subscribe for more TCG gameplay and news right here on Shuffle. I'll see you in the next one.